Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Beer Toys and Banter. I'm Dunny.
And I'm Nez.
Right, let's get straight on it. This week, Nez, I've got another Bad Company beer. It's an American Pale Ale and it's 5.2%. Now, if you remember from last time, Bad Company Brewery was in, I think it was Dishford Airfield in North Yorkshire. I had a really good one off that time, so let's try this one. Good colour, mate, good colour. Like I said, it's 5.2%. So it's an American Pale Ale, inspired by the great outdoors. This is a bold, hoppy IPA with notes of citrus and pineapple. So let's give it a go, mate. Let's give it a go. Really good that, mate. Really crisp flavour. I can't taste the citrus in it, but it's very much a session beer, so it doesn't taste like 5.2.
And most of these American pale ales are not generally as hoppy.
No.
And have that sort of bite to them as, say, an IPA does.
No. I didn't know that as well. This is brewed especially for Asda. So that's an American Pale Ale, Bad Company, 5.2%, Dishford Airfield in North Yorkshire.
Nice.
That's a great session beer, that, mate. I could drink a few of them. Again, great colour. Superb. What are you on, mate?
Well, I'm going to try something that we've never tried on the show before. I'm going to go with a Saison. This is Brewing by Numbers again from London. And this particular Saison is cucumber and juniper. Now, it doesn't sound particularly appetising, does it?
No.
It's a 5% ABV. So let's have a look at this. Now, that's very pale.
Yeah, very pale.
That's almost like see-through.
It reminds me of elderflower colour.
Yeah.
Not convinced with that one, mate.
It smells good. It looks, and it's fizzing away there like a seltzer or something. I'm not a great fan of Saisons, but I just thought it'd be nice to try something different.
You've got to do it, mate. You've got to do it. I tried that sour yesterday.
Do you know what, mate? It's absolutely rank. Yeah. I won't be finishing that. I guess if you love Saisons and that cucumber.
Well, that's a first.
If you like those. If you like cucumber in your gin and tonics and that kind of juniper taste, it is like a gin and tonic, strangely, because obviously of the junipers. But no, it gets worse when you swallow it. It's just not my cup of tea. I guess if you like that taste, that cucumber gin and tonic-y taste, it's probably a lovely drink for you for the summer, but it's not for me. And you know, Brew by Numbers do some amazing beers. You know, we tried those IPAs,
yeah, definitely,
pale ales, and they were great. But that is definitely.
That's the thing. It's like I said. I had that sour yesterday. People love sours. I don't get them. I don't like them.
No.
You know, it's not to your taste.
And while we're on the controversial thing, Dunny, what about analog toys and this third video in their trilogy of videos about pure vintage collectors versus repro collectors? What are your thoughts on the video, first of all?
I thought the video were really interesting when you sent it this morning. It's a hard one, isn't it? I'm preferably a vintage toy collector, but there's things from my collection that I just can't get. As you know, I'm going through the droids and Ewoks. So there's no chance of getting the flicks. Would I get a Repro one just to have it there? Yeah, I would. And is it the bottom 6 that they never released?
Yeah.
So, you know, would I get them there to finish that off? Yeah, I would. Well, you know, and it's my collection, so I can do what I want with it. I wouldn't push it out there as I tell people, if I've got this, I've got a Repro one of these. We had I know there were discussion about our friend Doug in Australia about his Falcon with labels. If you can't get the stuff, then I don't mind doing it. As fillers for weapons, I've no Repro weapons. I'm not particularly bothered about weapons because they're pretty easy to pick up and they're pretty cheap. But if it's something that I need in my collection, then I probably would go for a 3D printed one or a reproduction one. But that were interesting, what he said about the stands.
Yeah. For me, he could have delivered the killer blow at the end. And whether he got sidetracked, because by his own admission, he's recently got into Action Force. And so he said, look, everybody's got these that are Action Force stands, Repro Action. If he'd have said Repro Star Wars stands, because those same stands, the little clear stands, came with the Palatoy Death Star. So it could have been the killer blow to end all the arguments, couldn't it? All of you lads who don't like Repro, you've all got all your figures stood on Repro stands, because the Repros of the one in the Star Wars cardboard Death Star, the Palatoy Death Star. He makes some really, really good points in that video. And I think his first, or one of his first comments is, you know, people should be allowed to do what they want with their collections. And I agree with that, and I'm 100% behind that. I do understand the other side of the fence. Let's talk about that side of the fence for a minute, because they're trying to protect the hobby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So I get that. Yeah. But you can't protect the hobby and endorse things like the retro collection, which is just another name for Repro.
Of course it is.
When they can be ripped off the cards, and those figures can be chucked in a box of and weapons, of course, in a box of real vintage figures. And somebody who's not an expert in the hobby could pick one of them up and pay, you know, through the nose for it, thinking it's a proper vintage. Where do I stand on it? I don't have any Repro weapons in my collection. Would I buy some of these figures like Smith Lord and these other people are doing? Probably, yeah, because like you, there are some figures that I will never be able to afford or find, and I'd have them in there just to make the thing look, you know, superb, like you've got the full set of them. And also these figures that are clearly marked as Repro, I don't have a problem with them because they can't be confused.
No.
But there is a limit, you know, and we all collect in different ways. Would I have stuff in Repro boxes? No. What's the point? Some of the fun in collecting is the hunt and trying to track these things down. If you just want Repro stuff, you can just go on the internet and buy it, and you've got it instantly and put it in your cabinet. Half of the fun for me with the vintage stuff is tracking it down.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm after a couple of Grail pieces at the minute, which hopefully I'll, you know, be able to do some deals and pull in, and you know, we'll talk about them in a future show when I can actually put them on the table and I've got them in hand. But I just thought it was probably the best of his 3 videos.
Content-wise, I thought it were, and it wasn't I'm this, I'm that, which I don't like. It was this is this, this is that. He were explaining it, which I thought it were really good. It's one of them. It's one of them taboo subjects, isn't it? You know, it's like with all these groups, and I'm not calling any other groups. It's whichever group you're in, autograph group and a toy group. They're always very. It's my collection. I'm going to do what I want with it, and if people, you know, I'll get a Flicks because I can afford 6, 7, 8 grand for a brand new one. I agree with you with the Repro boxes. It's not my thing. Don't me say it's not anybody else's thing. To me, if you're getting a Repro box, you just want it on for display.
Well, I think there's also it has to be said that I'm not a boxed collector. I'm a loose collector, so that's fairly important. And you know, have I bought Repro in the past? Yes, I have, because when I couldn't find what I wanted and I wanted to display them, I would buy Repro and use it as a placeholder until I got a real one. But they've now gone. But also, there are things like, and let's not, you know, get involved in groups and names and individuals and that. But I remember seeing a post quite recently where someone had put a thing on where there are certain people that are trying to build up libraries of Repro stuff so they can help others to identify the stuff. And that's great. That's a good thing. But this person had been sent a load of Repro stuff for him to, you know, catalogue and put into this sort of Repro library for helping out collectors. And there were real weapons in there, real vintage. So what I'm saying is, there are so-called experts, there are novices, there are people in the middle, and there are so-called experts, and the lot of us have been fooled at one time or another.
Yeah, absolutely.
People have bought Repro thinking it's real, and people have bought real thinking it's Repro.
Yeah.
It's a minefield of the subject, and whilst he says that's his final video on that subject, I think there's going to be more.
My last thing on it is, as long as you don't pass it off as a real and it's a Repro, then I have no issue with it. If it's something to fill your collection, if it's a placeholder, if it's a sticker that you can't get to make something, I have no issue with it in your collection, because you can do what you want with it.
Yeah, I know, but also you're right. Don't pass it off and don't leg it back into the marketplace if you're done with it. You know, like when I kind of changed my opinion from having Repro stuff to you know, cleansing my collection and putting real stuff in. All of that either got destroyed or it got sent to these people who were cataloguing it and making a small collection of it to help out the hobby. But like I said, whilst he said it's his the final one in the two.
That's really nice. That's really good.
Good. I don't think that's the end of it. I think we'll hear more of it.
No.
Anyway, let's get talking about our own toys.
Right.
So, my purchase this week, our friend Nick Roach, I can never remember the name of your...
Geeky Nerdy Toys.
Is it Geeky Nerdy or is it Nerdy Geeky?
Geeky
Nerdy
Toys.
Geeky Nerdy Toys. Nick had...
I'll put a link on after.
Had a bit of a sale of some items, and he knows that I'm not a box collector, and so things like this little dent on the top of the box here, which he clearly advertised it as dented, and reduced the price accordingly, doesn't matter to me. So I get a bargain, because what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take it straight out.
I'm surprised you've not got that one.
Dented box. No, I mean, now that I've got the Star Wars room, and I'm never going to have a bigger one than that. I've kind of got out of the completer thing. I'm not a completer anymore, so I just buy the ones that I like. And this one wasn't at the top of my list, but I have to say, now that I have got it, I think it's a really nice figure. I think it's a great likeness of Natalie Portman. And it comes with a spare hand. So you can either have it holding a gun or not, and then you've got a battle droid blaster. So you can have Padme, you know, in the sort of battle of Geonosis. Oh, there's a spare arm just fired off on the floor. Or you can have her with her own little blaster. But I think that's a really nice prequel, because there are not a lot of them. Black Series figure. So there it is. That's my one. That's Padme Amidala. Black Series. It's number 81. Nice little figure.
It is a good likeness, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's nice, that.
Really good likeness.
Well, you know when you called me Big Box Dunny?
Yeah.
Well, this week I'm Small Box Dunny. I'm probably the smallest box we've had. I'm going to talk about Mandalorian the Child.
Yeah, the child, everybody, not
Baby
Baby Yoda.
So, let's open this. I mean...
Oh, excellent, you've broken it already.
Mine's the Armless Child.
Yeah. Have you got it back
I've
on?
got it on.
You-
There's not much you can say about that, is there?
Well, I'll tell you what I can say about it. It's tiny. Careful you don't lose that little ball.
What's that? Just something with that, because I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's just the really tiny accessories. Mine came in the week. There's his little ball. It's so small. We'll put a photograph on in a minute. A little frog and a ball in a bowl, and they're so tiny. They come in this little case, so you don't lose them.
Do you know what I thought it were going to be at first? I thought it were going to be his basket.
His pram.
Yeah. I thought it'd have been good. And just to ease the discussion, some people said, is it the size of the 6-inch? Is it the size of the 3 3/4? Right, well, we're going to answer that now. So that's the 3 3/4 Mandalorian. I think we can safely say it's not in scale with that.
No.
No.
It's too big. It's on the box there that it's the Black Series. Now I know that there is a 3 3/4 Black Series, but the packaging says to me that that's 6-inch scale.
Yeah.
And as you say, he's too big.
Yeah. There we are. If you haven't got this Mandalorian, by the way, it's an amazing figure.
Great figure. I actually like this little guy.
But that, to me, that's just like the Pogs, isn't it? When they did the Black Series Pogs.
It's the same size box as the Pogs, but the Pogs was £6. This is what, 10, 12 quid.
But the Pogs weren't when they came out with it. We got them from Thingy, who's not doing it now. They were about 10 quid when they first come out. But it's definitely not in scale of the 3 3/4.
And we got them from Thingy, who's not doing it now.
Dark Side.
More controversy.
Yes. So there you are. So that's my 3 3/4. It is what it is, mate. I mean, let's face it. To get a 3 3/4, to get a 6-inch scale child, it is going to be that big. But it is quite cute, isn't it?
Yeah, they're normally really good with the scaling. Hasbro, they have got some wrong. Mohonic was completely the wrong scale, but generally speaking, they're really good. And I guess we're another week closer to finding out what the HasLab project's going to be. They seem to be doing okay. They got 10,000 backers for the Sentinel, the X-Men Sentinel.
Yeah, it's
So
going to be interesting, that, isn't it?
Yeah, let's hope the Star Wars one gets all the backers it needs.
But, here we are, so that's my toy of the week. The huge child.
I've had bigger gifts out of a Christmas cracker, I'm going to be honest.
I honestly thought that were going to be his pram. It's a bit of a shame, really. It should have been. But, yeah, that beer's not going down well, mate.
No, it's not going down at all, because I'm not drinking any more of it. So that just about wraps it up for another week. As always, if you like what we're doing, hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button, leave us your comments, and let us know what beers you want us to drink, what toys you want us to talk about, and let us know your thoughts on the analog toys debate, the vintage versus repro. We look forward to reading all them.
Definitely.
So until next week, I'm not going to raise my glass and say cheers as normal because I don't like that. But cheers and
cheers, Nez.
see you next week, everybody.
See you next week, everyone.